So here we're going to go through replacing your worn chair sling. I had an Allen and Roth Safford Barstool from Lowe's that I bought about 12 years ago. And for the most part I brought it in, but a couple winters I left it out and it got really bad. So here, one of the important things is the 5/32 Allen wrench, or basically any bit that you can get in that size, and this Irwin bar clamp, which you can actually reverse and you can use it as a spreader. So here we're going to look at a couple of the screws that are in the back. Again, these are the 5/32 Allen wrench. If you can use a ratcheted screwdriver, that's the best. Here you just cut down the middle. And here again, this is at 4 times the speed. And you can see in the video here, I'm not actually using the ratchet because I didn't have it at that point, and this thing was just really tough to use, this Allen wrench that I had. So I went out to Lowe's and bought a Cobalt brand ratcheting set for about 21 bucks. So here I'm just taking these bolts out. There's really 4 of them that hold it to the base. There's 2 at the top that you saw earlier, which I think they apply some tension to the top of the sling as it comes up and over that top curve. So here I'm just taking it off. You can see that it comes loose. Those are the tension bars right there, which those are important. And that bar clamp is, you'll see later that we use that to spread those. So here's some end caps. We're just taking those off. And really, it's just a matter of muscling it through. I kind of flip it over a little bit just to sort of kind of break any sort of seal that it might have formed over the decade of people sitting on it. And you just got to kind of muscle it and wrestle it around, pull it down towards the bottom. And you can just see I'm just sort of going a little bit here and there with it, working the top, working the bottom. And there it comes off. Here's the pack of the new slings that I have, and you can see that it comes with this cord. It's a clear plastic cord, and that's going to go down the edges of the sling where it's got the pocket sewn in. The one thing you're going to want to be aware of is obviously that pocket is folded over and sewn. And when you go to slide it back through the track on the chair frame, you're going to want to make sure that the stitches and the fold is on the bottom of the chair. You don't want that exposed for various reasons. Obviously, aesthetics is one. But they also say if you freeze the beading or this the piece that goes through the sleeve, it'll get a little hard, and I think it improves its ability for you to slide it through. I just kind of had to muscle it through. Probably would have been a good idea to chill it for 5 minutes in the freezer just to harden it. This is the new sling going on. Again, start at the bottom. You just got to kind of muscle it through, pull on it. It's slid in pretty easily. Again, you just got to kind of work it a little on the bottom, work it on the top, back and forth until you get it up and around the top. And the top edge where it comes around, a little tricky. You just got to kind of muscle it. It'll go. Here again, just muscling it, getting it in place. Here I'm kind of poking in that beading, that plastic clear beading, just so I don't have to trim it. I just rather tuck it in. Here at the bottom, I just used pliers to cut it off, make it flush. Here I'm starting on the second rail on the other side. Again, just working it through, making sure that it's going in straight so it's not snagging. and then just kind of muscling it through. 4 of these Barstool chairs took me maybe around 8 hours total of tearing them down and then putting the beading through the edges of the sling and feeding the sling through, take apart the breakdown and then the rebuild of it. So probably around an hour and a half per chair, somewhere around there. So I think the last chair I did quite a bit faster, maybe in about 40 minutes, just because I was kind of used to it and had gone through it. And again, I had to buy the spreading clamp. You'll see here, that's just an Irwin. I think it's a 24-inch. And you spread it enough to where you can get these bars in there. And I did the top one first. It just made sense to do that one. And then here I did the bottom one second. Just seemed like it, I don't know, would have been easier to do the top first and then the bottom one. And there it slipped off. Whoops. So here we try it again. And being careful to get it a little bit straighter in between the rails. There we go. And you can see, I mean, it's a one-person job. And that's pretty much it. We put the bottom cover pieces back on. Trim it first, obviously. And these plastic covers that go on the bottom, they slide in. You can use a hammer if you need to kind of bang them in there. I did that after the fact. I came back in and kind of gave them all a little whack with the hammer. And here we're putting these top bolts in, top screws. And again, I think those are just tension screws. Here you can see me using that foldable Allen wrench, and that was just terrible. Again, use the ratcheting straight, and this thing extended too, which was nice because you could get back a little bit. The first screws that I would suggest putting in are these on the bottom edge, up where the front of the seat is. Get those in there, and you can see I have the clamp spreading it. I had to spread it a little bit to get it over the brackets that hold it. You're going to see I'll pop this off after I get it tight. And actually I didn't tighten it here, I'm tightening it. And then once those are done, now you'll see here, to get these to line up, I just drilled these holes a little bit bigger, just being careful not to hit the fabric. This was the first one that I did where I drilled. The next ones I went in there, and you can see that's kind of, the torque on that kind of got, almost pulled the drill out of my hands there, so be careful if you're doing that. With that bigger hole, it was a little easier to line up. I think I might have used my Irwin clamp just to kind of straighten it out for me. You probably don't have to do that. Here I'm getting the second. This is actually the last of the support screws, which screw the rails back into the base. And there is the last screw going in, tighten that down. And there's rubber caps that will go on and cover up these Allen screws, just to keep debris and whatnot out. There's a picture of all 4 completed. You can see they don't match the umbrella anymore, but it's not bad. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this helped you with your project. Take care. Have a good day.